Let's learn about Western Europe. Let's begin by looking at a political map of Western Europe. What bodies of water surround Spain? If you said the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean, you'd be correct. What country is on the same peninsula as Spain? If you said the country's name is Portugal, you would be correct. What country is on the same peninsula as Sweden? If you said the answer is Norway, you would be correct. Which of the two countries is larger, Sweden or Norway? If you said Sweden, you would be correct. What island country is located northwest of France? Northwest. If you said the United Kingdom, you would be correct. Now let's learn about what life is like in Western Europe through the eyes of Yasmin, a young girl who lives in Sweden but has family from Spain and Pakistan.
In the south of Sweden lies the charming town of Lund. Since Sweden joined the European Union over a decade ago, this part of the world has become home to people from all over Europe. 18-year-old Yasmin Bokhari Freiberg lives in Lund, but is originally from Spain. Her father Asif is Pakistani, and her mother Monica is Finnish. Yasmin still has ties to her Spanish culture, particularly through dance.
I started dancing flamenco when I was 4 and was living in Spain. And then about a year and a half later, I moved. And when I was 9 or 10, I started to dance again in this very studio. I have spent most of my life dancing flamenco. It's a very typical Spanish dance, and in reality, there's not many people that dance it. So for me, dancing flamenco in Sweden brings out the Spanish part of me. It's like my Spanish identity.
Yasmin's family lives in the town of Biard, about 8 miles west of Lund. Yasmin spends most days at Lund University, where she's a freshman. Today, Yasmin has her linguistics class. Most of the classes at Lund University are taught in Swedish, but this class is taught in English. Most students across Europe speak many languages because there are so many cultures and countries so close together.
I speak Spanish, Swedish, English, and French. Spanish and Swedish better than French, which I can speak conversationally due to my schooling. Urdu is another language. I don't speak it, but I can understand and read it a little.
Yasmin is interested in film, architecture, and lots of other subjects. But she has decided just to take this linguistic class until she figures out what she wants to do. There are a lot of universities and specialty schools she can attend in Sweden or anywhere in Europe.
Right now, I study linguistics. It's interesting, but I've chosen it just to give me something to do, because I don't think it's what I want to do in the future. I like languages very much, and communication seems very interesting to me, as well as the origins of languages and words.
Yasmin has one more class before the day is over. This one exposes her to yet another culture.
I like Taekwondo because it is not only fighting, kicking, and hitting, it's about defending yourself. If something bad should happen to you, you know how to defend yourself. It is not for attacking, and it also has this philosophy of peace. You have to have the right mindset in order to do the sport. I like that a lot.
The next day, Yasmin takes advantage of the nice weather and goes for a walk. From the coast near her home, you can actually see how close European countries are to each other.
This sea is called the Øresund Sound, and over there, though you cannot see it well now, is a bridge that connects Malmo in Sweden with Copenhagen in Denmark. It is very easy to move between Sweden and Denmark without passports or obligations. You can go in a car or train, and it's very easy, so it is very good.
The close relationship between the countries of the European Union made it possible for Yasmin and her family to move to Sweden from Spain.
España se unió a la Unión Europea.
Spain joined the European Union in the 80s, 86 I believe, and Sweden in 95. So before 95, we would come to Sweden pretty often, a couple times a year, because we have family here. In 95, my father, when we were visiting Sweden, went to a job interview, and they gave him the job. With very little difficulty, he was able to come here and work due to the mobility granted by the European Union.
Traveling in Europe is quite easy, but gas is expensive and few young people have cars. So when Yasmin wants to get somewhere, she takes a bus.
Bueno, pues en el pueblo donde vivo yo, no hay
In the town where I live, there isn't much to do, so when I want to do something, I go to the bigger cities that are close by. Most of the time I go by bus. It's the way I travel.
Back on campus at Lund University, the snow drives Yasmin indoors, just in time for lunch. She meets up with her friends Sergio and Maria for some Greek food. Yasmin speaks to Sergio, who is from Chile, in Spanish, and to Maria, a native Swede, in Swedish. Higher education is free in Sweden, so many students from all over the world come here to study. The snow continues to fall, so Yasmin decides to head home where it's always warm.
We are in Bjard in Sweden, and this is my house.
In the kitchen, Yasmin's father Asif has begun making dinner. She joins him and the rest of the family.
Este plato que estamos haciendo.
This dish we are making, well, that my father is making, is al gust. I am helping. It is Pakistani food, but with a little mixture of different cultures. It is Pakistani, but with our input of Spanish olive oil, Swedish potatoes, with Chinese rice.
Hola, hey.
Salam alaikum.
The language that we speak is kind of similar to the foods we eat. It is very mixed up. I speak Spanish with my father, Swedish with my mother, and my mother and father speak English between themselves. This is my older sister Sabina, and this is my little brother Daniel. This is my grandmother Siri, who is the mother of my mother, and she comes from Finland.
Bueno, pues así son las cenas de nuestra casa.
Well, this is how the dinners are at our house. Sit down and try some to see if you like it.